I know. You can enjoy Emily Swallow on the KJ Today Show, spoiler free.
What is it like for you to, be in the Star Wars world and representing women like you are?
It is, all I can do is just make sounds. I still haven't found just the right words, but it's a huge gift and such an honor. And I just, my mind boggles at getting to play this character. I love her so much. I look up to her, and I'm so glad that they dreamed her up. I'm so excited for the ways that she has developed. I'm so excited for what is coming for her this season. I love that she is this gentle leader. We've seen her be incredibly powerful. We've seen her, practice force when she needs to, for sure, when there's some stormtroopers who are acting the way they're not supposed to. But I love that she only does that when she needs to, and that she's a leader who leads with patience and with firmness, and that she trusts that absolutely, and that she is respected and listened to that way. I love that she sort of she never insists that Din does a certain thing. She trusts that if she sort of puts the suggestion out there, that he knows enough to know what he needs to do. And I love their relationship that way. I love the way that she's guided him and that he has really stepped up to the challenge. I feel like she's sort of his Obi-Wan and his mentor, and their relationship is so interesting to me and will continue to develop that way this season. And people ask me constantly whether I wish that I could take off my helmet, and I have such mixed feelings about that, because one of the things that has been so special is that she has become this beloved character, and especially as we were just saying, with little girls looking up to her, women looking up to her, people really respect her and admire her, and I love that it has nothing to do with what she looks like. So now I'm pretty happy to keep the helmet on.
Man,
Ooh,
I was
just good.
having this discussion with someone who was like, man, I wish just like once she'd take the helmet off, right? And I'm like, no.
There's that air of mysteriousness.
Right. And I hadn't thought about it that way, but how cool for her that she is this iconic character. And literally, unless you know who she is, right? Like, unless you've seen her in Supernatural or, something else, you are in love with this character. And like she said, it has nothing to do with how she looks.
Good.
Right? It would be
good.
Although it would be funny if like there was just a maybe a little bit of an issue, like where she's like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. And like it's just a shot of her like running off around the corner and eating a sandwich real quick and putting her
perhaps. But I think there's that, mysteriousness. And I was so impressed how well spoken she is.
She's fabulous. I have had the opportunity to spend some time with her. She was at PopCon, which, we love PopCon.
Mm-hmm.
And, we would always love to have Emily Swallow back at PopCon, just saying.
KJ Today Show to PopCon.
Mm-hmm, yeah. All right. But she's super passionate. Like you said, she's very well spoken and she loves her fandoms. And if you're watching because of Supernatural, we're going to get to a question about where she stands with the future of Supernatural. But first, this may be one of my favorite fan questions that has ever come in because it has changed the way I watch the show.
Brian said, I just have technical questions like, can she really see in that thing? Does she have a microphone in the helmet? Can they hear each other talking? It was like, I don't know. Let me ask.
No, I can't see much of anything. And it's comical when those of us who are helmeted are together on set because sometimes we can't hear each other. We have mics in the helmet because they are recording everything while we're shooting, and they do use most of that. But yeah, sometimes we can't hear each other. And so we'll be, if we're in a scene where we're like across the room from each other, sometimes there's just some silent standoffs because we're not sure if the other person has said their line or not. And sometimes I'll be, especially the armor is such a serious character and she's presenting such important information. And sometimes I'll be in the middle of saying something that's very profound and I'll be walking across the room and then I'll just trip on something and practice almost fall over. And it is a very humbling experience wearing that armor because you never know when disaster is going to happen. And I have become very, very close to our crew, and I trust them a great deal because sometimes they're the only ones standing between me and certain disaster when they have to call out and warn me that I'm going to fall over something. So it's a riot because I keep hoping that one of these days they're going to release some sort of bloopers reel because it's like the Three Stooges sometimes when you have people in Mandalorian armor. We run into everything. We fall over everything. I'm constantly dropping things when I'm trying to be forging because season 1, my gloves were so big and cumbersome that John called them my oven mitts. And it was really hard to handle my tools. I have since gotten gloves that fit much better.
Ever since I talked to her, every time we watch an episode, I'm just like giggling when she moves because I'm like, how, like,
she has no idea where she's going.
Is she gonna fall? Is she gonna drop something?
I hope they release a blooper reel.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It'd be so great.
I mean, because it's such a serious show, it would be so funny to see them in that armor and like dropping things and stumbling around because they have, I mean, such an elegance about them, right? But it's like, oh man, those would be some good bloopers.
Oh, the production crew.
Yeah.
Doing the Lord's work.
All right. I know. Supernatural family. I could not talk to Emily Swallow without talking to her. And of course, we have the Winchesters now, and there have been some return characters. So let's talk about that.
Would you want to reprise your role as Amara? And could you see her fitting in somehow in this past universe that we're getting?
I love Amara. Any chance I could have to revisit her, I absolutely would. Again, this is this character that I'm just so glad that they dreamed her up because I think even though she was presented as this big bad of the season when she showed up, she was so complex and so relatable. And I loved the way that she developed until the end of the show. And of course in the world of Supernatural, there's justification for anybody turning up at any point in the timeline. So technically, even though I suppose if it were a prequel, that would be during the time when I'm locked in a box by, my brother Chuck. Of course, we could figure out a way for her to fit in there. So, yeah, I would be all game for that.
I would be game for that, too. Now, Katie, why are you shaking your head? Did you even get to Amara?
No.
Okay.
The Supernatural timeline, messy at best.
Yes, right. We can find a way to get her out of that box for an episode.
Sure.
And for someone who's never watched Supernatural, they're like, she was locked in a box by her brother? Okay. All right. I have, I'm holding back on you.
You've been holding out on me?
I'm holding out. I had the opportunity when I got the call about interviewing Emily, the producer said, hey, I thought he was calling to tell me she canceled because he was calling so early. And I'm like, oh no, do not. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, I'm getting ready to talk to him.
You got to like get in the zone right before you interview,
I got my questions. Everything's ready to go. And I'm like, no, it's too soon. You shouldn't be calling me yet. I don't want to answer this. I don't want to answer this. And he's like, hey, Emily's early. Do you want to talk to her now? And then you'll have like extra time with her.
Like, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Emily and I talked about when she was at PopCon, and this photo has become iconic. This little girl met Emily Swallow at PopCon, and I mean, it's been shared just like, I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of times. I mean, look at that, how beautiful that is.
I mean, that's the point of PopCon, right?
Yes.
Like just those magical little moments.
Right. And that, her parents, were like, she was like, I want to be, the armor. And they helped her do this cosplay.
Great
and
costume.
Then she's meeting Emily. So I had the opportunity to talk to Emily about this moment. and cut. I'm not going to, it was so great. I'm almost crying thinking about it. On Monday, PopCon Mod Squad Monday at 7:00, I am going to play back the conversation that I had with Emily about meeting this little girl. And I have a big announcement.
You're just going to tease us like
That's
that?
It. You're going
to tease us like that?
You're going to get more Emily Swallow on Monday. You need to follow along. This will be exclusively on the PopCon Facebook page. Okay.
PopCon Facebook.
So look for PopCon on Facebook. Make sure you give them a like. Get tickets to the con. Because Monday we're going to share this amazing. It blew me away when I brought this up to her. How she responded just blew me away. So that's going to be on Monday at 7:00 on the PopCon Facebook page, plus a big announcement.
Can you give us like a little taste, like a tease?
I can't. I'm just going to tell you.
Can you give us a hint about your announcement?
I mean, like, I can tell you that if you've been excited about tonight, you're not going to want to miss Monday. That's all I can tell you.
That's all I get.
That's all you get.